Yeah, I have to say, I watched this interview with Pat McAfee and Nick Khan. He had him on. It was
Yeah.
like a 20-minute interview. And I have to say, I really enjoyed Nick Khan. Like, I didn't give him a chance at first because I just thought he was like a McMahon crony. But like I didn't know this. He won Wheel of Fortune to put himself through law school.
Oh, wow.
And that's how he became. He wasn't rich. He didn't even have money, and he bet on himself. Went to Wheel of Fortune, won it, took that money to put him through law school, and that's how he became who he is today. And it was a really good interview. You have 20 minutes. Check it out.
Did you see though that he wasn't he listed as corporate officer number one?
Is he? Is he
That
in
that
that?
was the what I saw from the wrestling. The Mike, our wrestling informant, sent me over a thing that Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon were corporate officers 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 or
Oh man,
so that this is where I'm like, and that he wasn't. This is allegedly from what I heard
yeah.
that, and everything on the show is always entertainment purposes only. That he was not involved sexually, but he was aware of it, and they were doing things to cover up for Vince.
Oh my
So here's
god.
the deal with that. This is where things are going to get interesting. And Stephanie was in on this. So do you think Stephanie, who was involved in this, in supposedly making moves to protect Vince with all of this, as Nick supposedly was, do you think Hunter didn't know a damn thing going on?
Oh, they absolutely did.
He's
They
married to
absolutely.
Stephanie. So this is where I'm telling you this is going to get, depending on how far this goes, that if this thing goes to trial or like it depends how deep the feds investigate it, that if Vince can't buy his way out of this, which I hope to God he can't, that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to fall down here. And people, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
like
people, and this isn't me just being this bitter, angry, jealous Ryback. Like these are not good people with this. And Vince, he corrupts and pollutes everything around him. Whether these people were that way before or not, they chose to for the money to be involved in this with it. And that if this all comes out and they were doing these horrible things and this stuff is all in fact 100% true, like there's a good chance these people are not going to be involved in the company anymore. And I don't
bro,
think people understand
imagine
this.
imagine this, Ryback. Imagine you get your let's say I'm whatever, I'm a CEO, and I get a call to become the VP of WWE, right? And that's my dream job or whatever. I want to go. I start working there, and all of a sudden now I realize how much of a scumbag Vince is,
Yeah.
right? Now I see that Vince is fucking putting deals in contracts to have women be slaves for wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, in that choice, in that moment, you have to make that moral decision. Are you gonna do what's right, or are you gonna do what's best for your pockets? And anybody who did what's best for their pockets, including the Khan, then you're a piece of shit. Because you're just as bad. If you hide somebody's actions that are bad
Yeah.
just to protect yourself, you're a selfish piece of shit. That's
It's
what you
tough.
are.
Yeah. And these people, this is the stuff that they have going on. The stuff that they have going on there, and that's a reflection of Vince's mindset. It runs deep. It runs deep. And like it's not just like he's doing that stuff in their headquarters. There's all these other stories floating around, and but like it's just how he treats human beings, and I've told those stories, and like he's just not a good person with this. And these
Yeah,
people that are around him start doing, they see that behavior, and like it kind of trickles down with
it
this.
does.
It really does, and that's why I always said I called it Shawshank because what you're like it's like a prison in a different way. It's like you feel trapped, and like you get there,
Yeah.
like the wrestlers don't know that stuff going on, like or like not those sorts of things. But like you've all heard like things of the past or like random rumors and like you don't know what's true, what's not true. But it's just like an environment. Like it's a very negative, hateful. It was always a very negative, hateful environment. Like with that, and a lot of jealousy, a lot of insecurity. from the politics side of things to how the producers treated people to how they would try to embarrass you at times on TV, which we've seen. We've seen this play out, and which was one of the reasons when I saw they were going to do that to me when I wasn't re-signing the contract, I got out of it. I just like I'm not going to be involved in this anymore with it. But it just goes deep. Stephanie knew whatever she knew, and she's known probably a lot over the years, right? And had her own stuff with all of it. And like then she walked away. At that time that she walked away was when all this was supposedly going on or had gone on, like afterwards, right? With it. She probably couldn't take it anymore. I don't know, but like Hunter, she sleeps in the same bed as him every night. You don't think that Hunter's fully aware of all the moves going on in the company that he's a big part of? And like these, everybody was protecting Vince while they had their own stuff going on. And you don't think that these other people, and I've talked about like the Hunter Caitlyn things, that people are like they do their own things. You don't think Vince is going to help them cover things up? He's gonna.
My thing is like